This is the British Independent Film Awards. We've been doing it for 10 years. This is to celebrate the best of British independent filmmaking. Tonight, later on, we're expecting people like Daniel Craig, who came 7 years ago, won Best Newcomer, believe it or not, Tilda Swinton, Shane Meadows, a whole host of filmmaking talent that are known in the filmmaking community, but not so well known to the British public. So tonight we have a special category, the Raindance Award. These are the little films, maybe often overlooked by the big boys. We have 3 films. We have a film called Exhibit A, which is an experimental film shot by the actors using a camera not half as good as that one. Then we have a documentary called Tavarish, I'm Not Dead, a documentary made about a filmmaker whose father had gone through the concentration camps. Very, very powerful. And from Scotland, a feature film made called The Inheritance. This film was made for 5,000 quid.
It's a unique award ceremony that supports British independent films, and heaven knows they need as much support as they can get. I mean, it's really on the calendar now. It's a proper event ceremony. And
yeah, well,
you've got some great films nominated here, and an incredible range too. And the other thing I really like about it is they often do honour films that sort of slip through the net in other ways, don't necessarily get noticed. So I think that's great.
So what kind of film would you like to see win tonight?
I mean, because of where I'm from, I'd like to see Control win.
Control?
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Control do well.
That would be 2 northern films in a row. Last year your film won. This is England.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
What does the British Independent Film Awards mean to you guys?
Lots of nerves, excitement, but no, it's a real privilege. It'll never be as tough as it was last year, though.
Yeah.
We were up against some big stuff last year.
You were.
I don't know, I'm just looking for a really good show for British filmmaking, really. So across the board, it's kind of okay. Just the fact that we're here 10 years on is a kind of, I don't know, it seems to be a very healthy thing.
I think anything, Elliot, that reminds people, and mainly kind of the audience side, that independent films exist, let alone are great, is fantastic in my book.
There's a kind of democracy to it all as well. It seems to me there's no kind of studio advertising campaign. Everything's here on merit.
Independent film is where nearly everyone gets their break. So these awards are more important than any other awards because it's the first breath of recognition that any artist gets in this medium, and that's what makes them so important.
Great. And are you rooting for any film tonight?
I'm rooting for all of them. I mean, I tell you, having been struggling myself to try and get an independent film off the ground, anybody who achieves anything like these people have achieved, and these people have won awards, but anyone who just gets a film made, I think,
I agree.
It's a spectacular achievement.
The Raindance Award is about honouring true independent spirit in filmmaking and the films that often get overlooked.
Okay, and the winner is The Inheritance.
Well, this is quite crazy. 6 months ago, me and Tim had this idea about shooting a Scottish road movie. 6 months later, here we are at the Bithers, we just won an award. We shot in 11 days on £5,000. Thriller, baby, thriller. You know, thanks to everybody. You know, we had so much support from people like Scottish Screen. Incredible journalists really supported the film. The guys at Raindance, supported by Elba, it was just absolutely phenomenal. It's down to people like this that were here tonight. So, big thank you to everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, incredibly honoured and privileged and very, very pleased. And this is a big surprise. So, yeah, thank you to everyone at Raindance who've been incredibly supportive and generous.
And I think the Bithers is it's incredible for, for people like us. I really think we'd have struggled to find a voice. Our films, £5,000 shot on mini DV, and really down to, competitions like Raindance and the Bithers, they really have given us a voice and made us legitimate. I think that's incredible. I think the big thing for us, what we were huge on, was like what we bonded on was that we both wanted to get out there and do it ourselves. We had 5,000 budget, we didn't wait around for the £500,000, £1 million to come up. We literally just went out there and, shot it, did it ourselves and did it as a team. And here we are with the Bith. I want to make sure, and if we can do it with hard work, dedication, anybody can do it. I really mean that,
It's amazing. I mean, really, at the age of 52, to be the best directorial debut is not bad.
So do you think this will mean anything to you 10 years from now when you're looking at it on your mantle?
Absolutely. Yeah, it really does. Because I really meant what I said. I thought it was a brilliant place to make a film, England, and unfortunately I had to fund it myself, but apart from that, the people on the set are just fantastic. It's been really incredible talent.
All the work I've done has been British and independent. You know, it's I think it's valued that we've got an industry that we can establish ourselves, and then perhaps, you know, America does call, and you hope to go there, you know, because they still do make great films as well. It's an honour, you know. It's a real. The BIFF is a great thing because it keeps the industry going. You know, it just proves how solid it is. You know?
I guess people who say, you know, it means nothing don't really win them. It's a very proud moment, especially being the Richard Harris Award. I think that means a lot to me. Because guys like that really started us off. Without those actors, the other Finneys and the Richard Harrises and all that, we wouldn't be here. You know, they kind of opened doors for us. And so that means a hell of a lot to me. So you get the kudos from performing. And you perform actually in the independent films because the scripts and the parts seem to be better written for you. That's why you do them.
So by the time I was 21, 22, I'd sort of been there, done most things, and kind of came to filmmaking by accident. So I didn't really discover my passion for filmmaking until I started sort of making joke films, really, to be honest, and that was almost like the way, because I was told at school, you know, you're never going to make anything of yourself, and there was a few teachers that believed me, but generally I was a pain in the arse, I think, and so when you sort of find something and you find you've got a talent for it, you know, then obviously, and you know, and the main thing for me, and I'd pass on to other people, is that the birth of video made a huge difference to me, because when I first started making my films and trying to get them screened, nobody would show them unless they were on film. This was only 94, 95, so I set up my own video festival and used like the worst sort of projectors, you know, things looked abysmal, but we just said, if you won't show them, we'll show them ourselves. And so I, you know, me and a community of filmmakers in Nottingham all sort of started this little guerrilla campaign ourselves. And then obviously with what's happened with video, it's become more and more affordable. So, you know, the thought now that kids can go out and make a film on HDV, you look at something like Once, you know, film that was made for 40, 50,000 on two Z1 cameras similar to the one we've got here, and projected in cinemas, winning awards all over the world. And, you know, the gap's been bridged, it's just down to talent now.
I've worked with probably more first-time directors in independent movies than I have, like, sort of established directors. And they're people that break the rules because they don't know them. So you go and invent things, you know, and that's where you, I wouldn't say learn your trade, I guess you do in any film you make, but that's where you go and apply your trade, that's where you show what you can do, if you can do it.
You know, I'm sort of embracing the technology and embracing the sort of freedom that it gives me, so I can, you know, I can go out and make a big film if the story's big enough, but also I've got a very small film that's about next to nothing. I mean, one of the feature ideas that we've got Paddy Considine in it, and he plays a roadie for the Arctic Monkeys, and he takes a big fat rapper up to Manchester with him and tries to get him on stage, and we just went up there for 5 days and made a film. So I'm still putting my hand in the, you know, the sort of, if you like, that sort of wild guerrilla style filmmaking, but I also, you know, want to make bigger things, so maybe that's the place for a lot of people to start, is with those smaller raw ideas, because I think applying for funds is okay, but I think at the end of the day it's such a lottery that, you know, ultimately going out there and making it's a much safer bet, because people can find you then because you've got something solid to show them. If people are moaning now, then they're not filmmakers, you know. It's like basically, you know, you can beg, borrow and steal your way to making something for the cinema nowadays.
And anyone sits down on their arse and says, you know, we need this back and need that, no, you don't. Fuck off. Get off your arse and go and do it, because you can do it, you know. And that's what independent film is all about, really, isn't it?